Sell tickets online, never in the streets. Easiest way to make money. I go to the ticket shop.
Click the link at the top line of the description. Yes, click the link at the top line of the description box. And also make sure that you go to the top line of the description and go check our newest sponsor for this video, theticketplug.com. And if you want to advertise on this channel, before we get started, your ad will play in that spot. You can email me, ogod@hiphopun.com. That's ogod@hiphopun.com. Let's get to it. So as we know, there's been some breaking developments in this whole Diddy racketeering, case. So if it's your first time checking in, I did a live stream earlier to kind of go through things. I'm gonna, give you the first things first. I'm gonna give you the verdicts as they came in earlier. Then I'll get to the newest breaking news. So if you're coming in here, hit the thumbs up button. Make sure that you, take off your shoes before you come up in the crib. That's hitting the thumbs up button on the video. So, today, the most serious charge of racketeering conspiracy, Diddy was found not guilty. Another, which was count 2, which was sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, he was found not guilty. Transportation, count 3, to engage in prostitution, he was found guilty. And on count 4, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, he was found not guilty. And count 5, transportation to engage in prostitution, he was found guilty. Now stick around because I got some videos loaded up for y'all. I got some stuff for y'all. I got his son's reaction. I got Boosie's reaction. I got attorney Akeisha El Sabaz's reaction and the whole nine. So stick around. We got some stuff ready for you guys today. So that's that. Now, to go over some of the charges, he was looking at some serious charges. One major charge, the racketeering charge, was maximum, a lifetime sentence in the feds, and the sex trafficking charges, carried a hefty sentence as well. So he didn't 100% beat the feds, but he beat the feds. So let's just keep it a buck. Like he spanked them boys, right? I'm definitely going to get to the people in the comment section very, very soon. But I want to jump over here. So after all the news came down, there was a lot of excitement, and I'll give you that video in a second, with his son reacting. The verdict came in at about 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. They had a bail hearing to see whether or not Diddy would be allowed to be released. In that bail hearing, he was denied bail until sentencing August the 3rd. So he's going to be in prison for the whole summer, and he'll be sentenced on August the 3rd, which, he's going to do sometime. But he's not going to do, mad time like a lot of people thought that he would possibly do. It goes one of two ways. Either, you win or you lose. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a big victory, in my opinion. It's a big victory because if you're facing life, right, and let's say you get 5, even a 5 with a 10, you're going to be happy. You're going to be happy. You're not going to say it's a lot. You got his family. They said they died. Let's hear it. So here's his son. Make sure that's the right video. Speaking. So let's get to it. Definitely appreciate law student, my man James in the building. So let's get it. Let's hear what his son had to say.
Today's verdict. Combs' son, Christian, telling ABC News how happy he is.
Hey, yo, we love y'all. We love everybody watching. So happy. Pop's coming home. God bless. God bless the whole world.
What was going through your head when the verdict was read? Happy.
Joining me now, Arena Roy.
All right, so that's that. That's that there, right? I want to get to some of the comments before I get to the other videos. I'm gonna get to some of the comments. I got some stuff I definitely want to play, you know, for you guys today. Definitely. Peace to everybody. Hey, what up? So, all right, law student Cali put sentences is October the 3rd, but it can be expedited. Cool. Yep, cool. All right, so let's go. Let's hear what Boosie had to say. Some of you thought that video was longer, but you know, it is what it is. Let's hear what Boosie had to say real quick.
Took down like that, bro. Like, and I'm tired of seeing us black people go against us black moguls like that. And I feel like if Diddy...
Go back. Hold on, my bad.
Man, I'm so glad Diddy free, bro. You know, the reason is because I'm tired of seeing us black moguls get took down like that, bro. Like, and I'm tired of seeing us black people go against us black moguls like that. And I feel like if Diddy was a white man who done all this for people, you know, I know he ain't paid people, but if he done all this for hip-hop, if he was white, they would have had so many white people out there protesting for this man losing his life behind a relationship, you know. And people always, Boosie was on Diddy's side. Nah, it ain't that. It's because I'm thinking about 7 children. Y'all thinking about one person. I'm thinking about these 7 kids who been in my kid's position. Not knowing if your daddy gonna come home or not is a burden on the child. Like I've been said.
So yeah, I mean, everybody gonna have differing opinions. You know, that just is what it is. Which one is this? Oh shoot, hold on. Everybody's gonna have different opinions about the situation, man. I'm not tripping. You know, I think it was the right decision. You know, if you've been listening to my commentary, I've been saying this, you know, unequivocally. I've continued to say I just didn't see the RICO. I didn't see the sex trafficking, but the prostitution, you can't. There's no way you can get out of that. There's no way you can get out of that one. And it just so happened that is definitely, you know, what they, you know, that's the verdict that came through, you know, and whatnot. I think anybody with any type of a trial can go either way, but anybody with any that kind of taking their feelings out of it and stepping outside of it, you can kind of see like, all right, hold on, this is some bullshit a little bit, right? Now he still could. I believe that he still could have got convicted because I did say that as well. I'm like, yo, they probably might get him. I felt the only reason they would get him though is not because of the evidence. I felt like they would get him because of the vendetta, the secret vendetta, you know, against him. But I'm not like, you know, pumping my fist saying, oh, this, that, and the third. I think that justice was served. Now, Cassie today, she put a petition in, like she don't want to see him, you know, get out on bail, whatnot, and all that. I mean, look, I guess you got your wish, right? Now, law student Kelly says he could do a possible 51 months. Let me see. Let me read your comments. He's too old to have done what he did and then serve a possible 51 months in prison and still whack because he knew better. Yeah, true. I mean, like I said, 51 or life. He already got 12 in, almost something like that. They could do a lot of things with the sentencing. You know, I'm not sure how the feds work, but I mean, if he got to do anything less than 5 years, that's a celebration. And if you get closer to like 10, I mean, his life's gonna be affected. But think about it, you're facing life. It's over for you. That's why they're excited. That's why they're excited. You know, it's a partial victory. It's a partial victory. But I guess you could take them anyhow you can get them in that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? So one of these joints, let me see, because I don't know why that one didn't upload like I thought it would upload. But I'm gonna read a couple comments. And I want to play some of this video, you know, real quick from an interview that we did. Most of you probably seen this. To a life sentence, what he gets is a win. Yeah, exactly. I mean, your life, think about it, it's over. Like, you ain't never getting out your federal number, whatever. You went from luxurious lifestyles, boats, jets, calling shots to a 6x6 cell, right? Where you gargling, you peeing, you doing everything in this one little area. You working out this one little, you get 1 hour of rec, maybe. They serve it like it, and now you know that you can get out. Like you got guys that get life sentences and still holding on hope for appeals. To know that you're one day going to walk out. And now answer this question for me if you can, and I'll research it real quick. The sentencing, the prostitution, the one he was convicted of. Is there any mandatory minimum? Is there any mandatory minimum on those on the prostitution? I think it was two counts that he was convicted of. Because if it's not a mandatory minimum, right, it's going to be pretty much up to the judge's discretion. You know, it's pretty much going to be up to the judge's discretion what the hell he's going to do. You know, all right, let me see. Let's see. So if you know that, law student, please share that information real quick, please. Y'all forgetting too, since he beat the Rico, his assets can't go into forfeiture. Big win. Yeah, I mean, he got a lot of assets too. Okay, it's 10 years. Okay. Now, if it's 10, and is it 2 counts? Is it 20? Because that's what I'm thinking in my mind. So could they give him possibly 20? 20. Because now if you get let's say the judge, let's say if that's the case, I'm gonna wait to get the answer. But let's just hypothetically say that's the case, and the judge roof him and give him like 17 years. Then that's not a win. That's not a win. But the good thing about it with the feds, right? And I think in the states that as long as you if you cop out to a plea, you don't preserve any rights. But if you fight the case, you're saying that you're innocent, you preserve the right to appeal. And a lot of people don't talk about this. The appeal rate, you know, the conviction rate is very high, but so is the appeal rate in the feds. All right, okay, law student Cali, but he could possibly do 20, but that's unlikely. They run alongside each other. Okay, yeah. So all right, so let's just go hypothetically 10. The judge could be a prick. Let's say hypothetically 10. I feel like the judge, here's my prediction, that they're going to give him time served. They're going to give him time served and give him like 5 years or 10 years probation. You know, that's my prediction, right? And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It is what it is. I feel like they're going to give him time served. You know, we'll see. No, nobody could know. The appeal's not always easy to get. Yeah, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to get the appeal. You're right. A lot. Because there has to be something. It has to be something that was done wrong. That's possible. Okay, it has to be something that was done wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like a procedural mistake somewhere. That's why, you know, when you I did some reading a long time ago. This course called Jurors Dictionary, because I was looking into the back when I used to do credit repair and all that, I was in, real heavy and kind of into the law. And they say when you're a law student, could definitely confirm this. When you're building, when you're making your arguments, you're putting everything on a record, just in case, like you're putting everything on a record just in case you need to appeal. Everything is on the record. Like, even if it's like you want to make sure everything is on a record to preserve your appeal, is what I'm trying to say. You feel me? It has to be a legal technicality. Right. And a lot of times it is. Worst case, he gets 51 months. Right. He'll be out 18 months. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I appreciate y'all dropping this information. I really do. But I feel like they're going to give him time served. And that'll be that. He will most likely do 51 months. 51, 24. Yeah, I mean, But see, all right, another question I got for you, law student. You can't get out early in the feds, right? Can you get like paroled, or how's that work? You got to do percentage of time. I don't know how it works. I know the state is a little different. How do the feds work? If you could let us know in the comment section. If you're listening, hit the thumbs up on the video if you're coming through. And also, if you want to advertise on the channel, if you got a product, if you got a service or a song, you can email me right now, ogod@hiphopun.com. That's ogod@hiphopun.com. If you go all the way down to the bottom of the description, you can copy and paste it in your browser and send me an email. I'll answer it right after the show. So let me get back to, oh snap, what I do? All right, I ain't like that. All right, so definitely let me bring back the comments here or the chat. Feds got to do 85%. Okay, cool. And now I was wondering, like, yo, you know how Jay-Z kind of like disassociated himself? I wonder how Diddy gonna deal with Jay-Z going forward. I wonder how Jay-Z. All right, let me read this. I don't know you. That's why Jay-Z is getting a pill in the Bugsby suit. There was a misapplication of law. His attorneys weren't allowed to bring evidence proving Bugsby knew the girls. Okay. All right. So feds have to 80% of the time. He gonna be free in months. Free Diddy. Yes, 85. Okay. So 85%. So we get 51 months. He already got a year, some change in, right? He got to do 85%. So the 51 months, what's that turn into? So he might be out of there, bro. If they set in the 51 months, that's minus the 12. He gonna do what? 2 years, 2.5, 3 years, max. Max. And might get out earlier on a good time. Man. Wow. Jay-Z played it smart. Don't think Jay-Z didn't reach out behind the scenes. I like that. And that's one thing you got to know. Like, see, one thing you know about these guys, majority of them know how this system works. And they know what they're dealing with. Jay-Z is one of them. So they'll do a lot of stuff behind the scenes. That's why you'll hear Jay-Z about donating, doing some prison reform, bailing people out, doing a lot of shit behind the scenes, because a lot of stuff you don't want to go public because he knows that he could be lynched as well. He know he could be at a public lynching as well. You feel me? Law student audit. Congress amended section. I got to get close to the screen. Sorry. 3624B to allow maximum of 54 days of good time for each year. Oh my goodness. 54 days is almost 15% of this. Oh my goodness. Wow. You saw people outside the court putting baby oil on? Wow. Oh boy. Somebody said Fat Joe. Yeah, Fat Joe, you got to watch out, bro. Charles Wilson, good. Great day. Definitely. So Diddy scores a victory. I guess a partial victory. I'll say a partial victory. Right. I'll concede to a partial victory. You feel me? I'll do that. You feel me? Ho showing up. Let me read that. Shane puts, Ho showing up to court might have rubbed jurors the wrong way. They already tried to attach him to the case with some BS. Word. And as much as we was talking our trash, like, oh, Jay-Z, no him. This is chess, not checkers. This is chess, not checkers, bro. As much as people want Jay-Z to say, no, it's my homie, it's my man, I'm riding with him. I don't care what y'all say, y'all lying. You got to move in a different type of way. That's why you got to have advisors and things around you and, people that know best, but I don't think Jay-Z's done as far as them trying to come for him. Right. And I don't wish that on him, but I don't wish that on him at all. All right, Larry Love. I'm a definitely, I appreciate the super chat. That's love right there from Larry Love. It's not 20 years. Those two charges won't run concurrent. He will get time served. He'll do 6 months federal probation. All right, we'll see. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you, good brother Larry Love. I'm gonna let that hang up there for a minute because I appreciate that. People like Jadakiss, French, Mary J, they said it should have showed up people who Puffy helped. I agree too, bro. Like I agree. I really if it was my friend or family member, I'm supporting them 100% unequivocally. I'm supporting them. This is what I'm doing. I'm not gonna, ball up into a corner. But people got their reasons. They all got their reasons. French Montana, he walked out. Somebody asked him about it. He ran off. He ran. He got up out of there quick as a mug, boy. Tyler Perry will settle for $25 million, and lots of guys will come out. All right. Law student in federal prison. If you're sentenced to 10 years, you'll actually serve 8.5 years in prison. If he gets time served, it could be reduced to 5 years. So you're saying if he gets sentenced to 10, it'd be reduced to 5, minus the time that he already has. So even, okay. Charles Wilson puts, plus each state, counties, federal laws are different. That's why the state of mind, the mindset of that state. Pay attention in first person, not third person. They put it all in our faces. All right, Larry Love disagrees. No, when those charges flip out, you get low. You can support me from a distance. Everybody don't need to know your support. Somebody, he had the feds on him. That's I agree with that as well. I can't argue with you. But if you're in here, hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button, please. On the video, I want to move to the next portion and play just a little bit of the interview that we did. I'm not gonna play that much of it. The unbiased truth put, the legal expert on Law and Crime Channel said he'll likely get 2-year sentence of probation. Wow. Because, let's think about it. Right? Prostitution. Right? I get it. I understand. It's a horrible thing. It's horrible. I'm gonna get to you too, Shane. It's horrible. But I mean, it's what it is, right? It's what it is. I'm gonna get to this one. 50 Cent is looking real weak. Curtis sold a documentary with fake information. I can't look at Jackson the same. Was it fake information? I guess so. And that's the part I get the enemies, but I never agreed with the way he engaged the situation. 50 Cent. I thought it was some bullshit. I'm not gonna hold you. I thought it was some bullshit. Then I seen something where he possibly allegedly hired somebody to get information on him. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I think it'll be 6 months, and then he might countersue Cassie for defamation. LOL, just my opinion. Damn. Ooh, I don't think he's gonna do that. I think he's gonna leave it, bro. I don't think he's gonna sue a soul. I think he's gonna just be happy that he's out, bro. That'd be cold as ice if he did that, wouldn't it? Unbiased truth and legal and a law student going back and forth. Oh boy. All right, I'm listen to a little bit of the interview we did with attorney Akeisha Shabazz. Some of y'all probably already seen it before. I'm gonna play a little bit of it. Real quick. The description box. Not only do they have champion. All right, so old
violence case that they tried to roll into a.
All right, so let's listen to a little bit of this. Stick around. Hit the thumbs up button. Stick around with me. This is an interview with attorney Akeisha Shabazz out of New York, and she talked about some of this stuff a couple months ago about this case.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, so, if you're familiar with me, I don't deal in emotions when it comes to this stuff, right? And so it's very emotional, and a lot of people are having emotional reactions. But when it comes to the court, when it comes to what jurors have to look at, the thing that they have to do is set emotions aside. The judge is going to instruct them that you cannot have any sympathy for either side, for or against either side, cannot enter into your deliberations. So the fact that you think he's a monster, that these things that were done were atrocious, he's a despicable person, those are not factors that are going to satisfy the elements of the crimes that he's charged with. And that's what it comes down to, whether or not those elements have been satisfied, right? And so when I'm looking at a RICO case, typically when we're looking at RICO, right, historically, these are prosecutions, everybody knows, organized crime, right? That's what you think of when you think about RICO. And then legislatively, when this was being enacted, it was to get those types of organizations that are shrouded in the secrecy, and that they are engaging in these types of behavior for profit. RICO is about commercial profit. RICO is about engaging in particular types of crimes: extortion, drug trafficking, sex trafficking, bribery, embezzlement, loan sharking, those types of crimes for the purpose of making money, right? So if you're saying I'm sex trafficking, when we think of it in a RICO context, it's, I got these hoes and they gonna go make this money for me.
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna put you out there, whether I'm put you on the straw, I'll put you on Backpage, I'm put you somewhere, and you gonna go, and the people that have sex with you are going to pay me. I'm not fucking paying them.
Right.
I'm not paying them. That's not how sex trafficking works. Sex trafficking, I'm making money. So I'm not, and the evidence so far does not support that. It supports that there is an individual who has means and access and has a very freaky lifestyle. And these are the things that he did to support that lifestyle. I still haven't seen the conspiracy. Where's the, okay, because by definition, conspiracy is you have to agree with one or more other people. Where's the conspiracy? Because the employees that are doing the bidding, they are not co-conspirators, right? Because if they are, how come they haven't been charged?
Right.
They haven't, not only have they not been charged, we see them coming to testify. We don't even hear that they're testifying under immunity deals, right? So we saw the Punisher come and testify. He testified that he engaged in, I don't know, however many freak-offs with Cassie, right? And so if we accept that she was not able to consent, then didn't he rape her too?
Ooh. Wow.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he came in and he testified, no, she was with the shits, right? He came in, but what else was he gonna say? Was he gonna come in and say, you know what, she didn't look like she was kind of with it, but I still hit it? He's not gonna say that, because then you just lined yourself up. You a whole creep, right? You a creep and you low-key a rapist. So he's not going to do that. He's going to come in and support, and his testimony, I think, supported the defense's theory of this case, that Cassie was a willing participant throughout all of these freak-offs. Even in some of them, she orchestrated them, she set them up, she paid in some instances. And so maybe what we're seeing is not rape, but I think I've talked about this before, is sexual regret. Sexual regret is not rape, right? But it could look like it. It could look like it, right? But from what I can see, I have not been convinced beyond a reasonable doubt that this is a RICO case that involves sex trafficking or even drug trafficking, right? Because the drugs that they were talking about, he was buying drugs for his personal use. That's not trafficking.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't care how you stretch this shit around. I don't care. It's not there. You can't make this, square peg fit into your round hole. I don't see it yet, though. Yet. I don't know. I say yet because we got 1 weekend and they claim that this trial is going to take 8 whole weeks.
Wow.
Wow.
Just to let you know, this interview was done like in May, like right when they started the trial. So this is kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Or I mean, she predicted it heavy. This is criminal attorney Akeisha Shabazz, by the way, New York City.
Really? 8? Who else y'all got? All right. So there may be another couple of victims. We know that there's at least one victim that's in the wind. I know there's going to be a therapist or some type of mental expert who's going to come in and try to explain battered women syndrome and why a woman wouldn't leave. But you know what? There were plenty of people that left.
Yep.
There were plenty of people that left and no harm came to them. They were like, you know what? I don't want to be a part of this shit anymore. And no harm came to them. Extortion. Okay, so Cassie's mother paid him $20,000. She got her money right back. Nobody's reporting that though, right? Because we got these sensational little, bloggers and half wannabe journalists that are out there half reporting for clicks and likes. And the extortion has been proven because his mother wired the money to Diddy to his business, and she was an artist. And he said that she owed money that she had to recoup. Now listen, that shit could have been completely bullshit.
Right? Exactly. Right.
Completely bullshit because he's a petty little man, right? And he didn't need no 20 stacks from these people, and which is probably why he sent it back. But that's still all. It supports the theory that he's just a jealous person, right? Who does petty little shit because he can. That's not criminal. It might be immoral, right? It might be immoral, but I don't think it rises to the level of criminality.
So we talked about because we've talked about Diddy's case previously prior to the trial beginning. And we talked about the government's percentile when it comes to winning these cases, and we were at a very high upper 90s. As of right now, we've seen it from the outside looking in, and your expertise, you haven't seen it yet, but there is still time. In your experience, do you typically see the federal government kind of, I'm gonna say for right now, slow playing this, or if they really had something substantial to fit their case of RICO or trafficking or drug trafficking or those things, would we have seen these things a little earlier, or does it usually take this type of time before everything starts getting rolled out?
I think this is their case.
Ooh.
I think this is their case. I really don't think they have much more than what they have alleged in their opening, that this is going to be about this individual. And they say I don't know how they say that this again is a conspiracy. This is one person. Is one person. I just don't see it. And I think the last time we talked about it, we said it would come down to consent, right? It would come down to whether or not these women were willing participants, or whether or not they were forced, or this was coercion, or they were under duress. And up until this point, I haven't seen anything that suggests beyond a reasonable doubt, right, that this was a coerced behavior on Cassie's part, right? Because she had the agency. Let's just talk about this for a second. She had the agency to have relationships with other men. I mean, if you're terrified and you are, that's not how you move. If you are in a relationship where you are suffocating and you can't make moves, you don't.
Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button. I'm gonna play a little bit more. People who've been on the channel probably seen this. If not, it's your first time. Attorney Akeisha Shabazz was talking about the case the first week of the Diddy trial. Accurately predicted it, as you can see.
Engage in other relationships with other people, out in the open and things of that nature. She had agency to do a lot of things that women who are under the thumb of an abusive person do not get to do. Right now, I'm not saying she had I'm not excusing the violence that we've all seen. I'm not excusing that at all. Absolutely not. But what I'm saying is that is a state domestic violence issue. It should long ago should have been prosecuted by the state. And since it wasn't, it's now too late. Statute of limitation has run on that, which is why they can only bring a RICO.
Wow. What do you think about his defense lawyer, their strategy? He did get a woman on the team. They said she was a bulldog attacking. What do you think of their strategy? We can't really watch it, but we can only read. So what's your expertise on the way they're attacking the case, in particular attacking like through the cross-examination portion?
Listen, cross-examination is the crucible to truth. It is the most important part of any trial. Direct examination is always going to go smooth, right? For the most part, because that's your witness. Right. When you think about someone like a Dawn Rashad, they met with her 8 times. So I've tried cases in the Southern District. I know how they prep their witnesses. And you need to meet with someone 8 times because they can't get their story straight. So you got to meet with them over and over again because no, you didn't get it right. You didn't get it right the last time. You didn't get it right the last time. You didn't get it right the last time. And then maybe by the 7th or the 8th, you're getting closer to what we need you to say, which is why that shit falls apart on cross-examination. That's why cross is so important, right? Because you're not going to see the holes on direct. Effective cross-examination. So I think they're doing what they need to do. I don't think all of them are equally skilled at cross-examination. I think we saw the difference in their approaches. When you see Nicole Westmoreland, she's taking your throat. She's going for the jugular, right? She understands the importance of impeaching, and it's a skill. Right. And a lot of lawyers don't know. They think they just go right into it. No, there's a buildup when you are trying to impeach someone. Right. And I think I posted the 3 C's of impeachment. You don't just go to confronting someone. You have to get them to confirm the shit they said before. You get them to credit that that's what they said. And when they said it, that their memory was fresher then than it is now. Then you confront them with the shit they said now, which is inconsistent with what they said before. It's a buildup to it. It's an art to it, right? And I don't see all of them doing that. I don't see all of them starting with what we call closed questions, right? When you're on cross-examination, you should not be asking open-ended questions. Open-ended questions elicit too much information, right? I'm on cross. I know what I need from you. So here's how I get it. Isn't it true that this happened? And weren't you also here? The only response I want from you on cross is yes or no.
Right.
Because that's how you control a witness on cross. You never ask a witness a question you don't already know the answer to. That's why you don't ask open-ended questions, right? So I think some of them are doing a really good job. And I think as this plays out and we get to see who is more adept at cross-examination, we will see more of them, right? We'll see them doing more. Because I'm sure that Mr. Combs is going to be watching and seeing who he thinks is the most effective at cross-examination. And I'm sure he will tap them to do more of the crosses. And we'll see that play out.
All right, so that was a section that we had, an interview that we did back in May. Again, it was the first week of the Diddy trial. And as we always do with legal matters, we like to, if we can, bring people that are experts, in their certain fields. She's been rocking out with us for a few years. So she's always gracious to come on and give her opinion. And I don't know if you guys remember, but she suggested, I'm not saying that they got it from this show or nothing like that, but she did suggest, during a previous interview that Diddy get a woman. He said a black woman, but she said Diddy should get a woman, because, I guess the aspect of, Cassie, being a woman and, the victims being women, and not too long after that, they followed that advice and they, got this bulldog, attorney. So it's a lot of people thought that Diddy, I wonder if we ever find out what they offered him as a plea. It had to be something crazy like 20, 25 years as a plea deal. It had to be something crazy. But his attorney said, yo, we could beat this. We think that we could beat this. And even if we don't beat every single charge like they didn't, you know, it's still a major victory considering what he was faced with. Let me read this comment. Larry Love, appreciate the $4.99 super chat. Sean was smart speeding up the trial. Smart move. They were not prepared. They got out in front and forced their hand. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. You know, I definitely agree with you. Yeah. And you would definitely want an attorney. You know, you definitely want a bulldog, you know, a trial attorney, somebody who can, you know, skilled, seasoned at the art of cross-examine. That's an art form. That's something you just don't jump in there your first day and be good at. That's trial and error. That's studying. That's, you know, learning human behavior and learning human psychology, learning body language cues. It's a whole, man, that's a beautiful art form. That's a beautiful thing. Anybody, you know, that's an attorney or, you know, I just love it, man. I used to want to be one. You know, I just didn't want to go through all the schooling. Then I got a little trouble. So I couldn't, you know, but if I was 20 years old or 18, I would definitely be going to school to be a lawyer, bro. For real. Go ahead and drop your question. Go ahead and drop your question. But our moderator, a law student, Callie's in law school, and she's, you know, she's in school to become an attorney. So that's gonna be dope, man. That's a great move that you make, you know, to do. And that's something that's always in demand. Like there's always gonna be a need for an attorney. Diddy vindicated conspiracy theorists ate and alive by the truth. Damn. So what does this mean for all the people who made up all those stories? Does it mean they're wrong? What do y'all think? Like for all the people that said all this stuff about Diddy, like even the prostitution thing, like at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, he engaged in prostitution. It is what it is. But so did Cassie. So did the other people in the trial. Like the Punisher and all these people. They were doing the same thing. Not guilty. Diddy. I like that title. Not guilty. Diddy's victory. Conspiracy theorists silence. I need you to come write some headlines for me, man. Let's do it. I like that one. All right, let me read this comment. Cassie finesse Diddy out $1 million. All right, Ravens fan. Shout out to Baltimore. The judge was so wrong. Excuse me. I'm a little dyslexic sometimes. The judge was so wrong to deny bail. They let unalivers out on bail when not Diddy. Judge is showing people personal hatred against him. Nah, you're right, yo. I mean, like, the justice system is so effed up. People, I remember it was in our area, it was a guy who was drunk driving, right? A kid was in the car asleep. His dad was fishing. He was drunk driving 100-something miles an hour, killed this kid, and was out until sentencing. Like, what are we doing? Killed him, drunk. He was drunk. That's the way the system is. Sometimes it's gonna be some shit like people now. You'll buy somebody and get a bail, but for prostitution, this man's locked up. I never understood it. I just wonder how he feels about the verdict. Did he? Well, they had a picture of him. They had a picture of him, like on his knees and shit, praying. I don't know if y'all seen that sketch. You know? Yes, they made up Bishop, Jakes, Usher, and other for views. If they had it on, the prosecutors would have played it in court. Yeah, nah, yo. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You're right. I guess whatever's pertinent to the trial. And then what happened to all these tapes of these celebrities and all these celebrities going to the freak off? This is something he was doing with his girl and people he was hiring. Like, what happened to all these people that are supposed to be in there? Lauren London and Jay-Z and Beyonce and, you know, all these different people was at these freak offs, and, you know, the Rock Nation parties was just the undercover. Like, what happened to all that? Now, I'll tell you like this. Some people are telling the truth about Diddy. But some people's lying their ass off, bro, for views and money. Let's just keep it a bean. Let's just keep it a bean, bro. Then we don't know exactly who, but the truth shall come to the light. The government is calling Cassie and Jane prostitute. I mean, engaged in, I mean, yeah. This makes the judge look extremely biased. If I were Diddy, I'll file judicial misconduct. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of crazy. Like, it's kind of crazy, but like law student was saying, they can speed that up. They probably get that quicker. Whatever. He should have let the man out on bail, bro. They should have let him out. What's going on in the chat? What I miss? Now they didn't let him out, right? From what I was reading, they still think he's like a threat or some shit. Like, are you serious? They still think he's a threat to society. Like, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? He's a threat to society. What? All right, so I'm gonna get to what the judge cited real quick, right? All right, now the judge cited multiple incidents that demonstrate that Diddy possesses a continued danger to the community. The court referenced the widely circulated video of showing Diddy obviously assaulting Cassie and highlighted a separate violent altercation at a London hotel. The judge empathized that even under the standard of proving he's not a threat, Diddy failed to meet them. The court noted that the defense had already conceded to his violent behavior and concluded there was no justification to reverse the previous decision to deny bail. That's some bullshit. That's bullshit. You feel me? Like, come on, man. They go on further to say, for months, the government repeatedly argued and announced to the world that Sean Combs was a monster who perpetuated a 20-year federal crime spree through a racketeering enterprise, right? And this is from Shapiro, the attorney. He wrote in a letter. A letter that he wrote to the judge, excuse me. It devoted enormous resources to the prosecution. Then, after almost a year in detention, Mr. Combs finally got his day in court, and the government's allegations were tested before a jury of his peers. The jury heard the government's evidence, including testimony from his former girlfriends, but its verdict, the jury resoundingly rejected the government's depiction of Mr. Combs. It would be unjust to continue detaining Mr. Combs at the MDC even one day longer. This is what the letter he wrote to the judge. And of course, the prosecution, they pushed back or whatever. They mad, they salty as hell because they was trying to roof him. They was trying to send him on a will. So at the end of the day, what's going to stop him, right? If he gets out in 6 months, where's the logic in this? If he gets out in 4 years, 5 years, if he want to get something done, he gonna get it done anyway. If he's a threat, what is going to keep him in there for another 6 months or whatever the case may be? How is that going to take away from his violent rage? It don't make no sense when you really think about it. He's a danger, so he's going to get out and start just getting people knocked off. He can do that any time he gets out. What's going to make it different if he gets out in October or if he gets out in 2028 or if he gets out tomorrow? What's going to be the difference in that? That's a bullshit ass excuse. Y'all tried to hit this man with the serious charges. You got him on a prostitution. All right, cool. I've been in here for a year. Give me probation. Let me go the fuck home. Give me probation. Let me go home. It's no justification to keep this man behind bars, in my opinion, at this point. There's no justification. It's stupid. It don't make any sense. Like his attorney said, we went through the jaws of your justice system. The jury of my peers. The jury of my peers did not convict on the serious charges. They convicted on engaging in prostitution, though immoral, though wrong, right? Yes, I get it. It carries a sentence and all that. But come on, man. I'm not gonna come on. That's just my thoughts on it. I mean, you're right though. It makes the judge look extremely biased. Jason Reels put, the federal government never had a case. They is watching too much social media and thought they had a case. Oh my God, that's the comment of the day. That's crazy, and and that's crazy. And that's crazy, but it's the truth. They watching podcasts. They watching podcasts and shit. Watching people run their mouth, multiple people saying things. They had a little bit. They had the tape. They was already spying on him, watching him, and they thought that they could hit him with a RICO. Like since when does the federal government miss like this, bro? They missed on this one. We could call it partial all we want. They missed on this joint, bro. Let's keep it a bean. They missed on this one. They wanted that man going to jail for life, bro. They devoted these resources to put him in jail for life. They ain't expect him to have a 5 or 10 year sentence. They wasn't wasting time with that shit. Look at the count they charged him on: racketeering. What life, sex trafficking, 15 to 20, something like that. 1-2 counts. Like they was trying to roof him. 5 years, 10 years, nah. They come on. They try to give you football numbers, bro. Let's keep it a buck. That'd be crazy, a Trump partner, but I don't think that's gonna happen. The prosecution wasn't watching. Nah, I mean the feds. Yeah, I mean, come on, they definitely watch social media, and whatnot. And it's not 100% true, but look at the weak ass evidence they brought, bro. They brought some weak ass evidence, man. This man was he was abusive, verbally, physically. He was doing drugs and shit and having crazy sex parties at the end of the day. That's it. They didn't get him for no guns. They didn't get him for nothing violent. Right? All these bodies he got, all these heads he chopped off, they ain't get him for that. They got him on prostitution. Prostitution. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I don't know. They was messing with the little people and watching too much. It's crazy. It's fact. Get that man his bail, bro. Like, now, if you would have hit him they'd have hit him on something major, whatever. I get it. I'm not saying that prostitution is not major, but you see chicks get arrested for prostitution, they get out, they get an ROR, at least in their own recognizance. All right, text me. I get it. I get it. But usually the federal government, when they bring cases like this, they're airtight. They get people to cop out. When people stand up to them and they fight them, not saying that they always win, but you feel me? They lost. They didn't get him on a RICO. It was never a RICO. They tried to make it something it wasn't. We can argue other thing. Like it's like almost like the Bill Cosby shit. Similar, but differences. It's like, what are we doing here? It's a misdemeanor in Georgia. Thank you. Like it did not stick. Common sense told people who weren't in their emotions and feelings that this ain't no fucking RICO case, bro. Common sense told people that this wasn't sex trafficking. Now, and from the outset, from the beginning, we probably didn't know. But once we seen that Cassie was with the shits, she was setting shit up and whatnot like this, like the attorney just got finished saying. Sex trafficking is when you putting people out there, right? And they're getting paid and they bringing money back. That'd be different. He's paying them to smash. Like, I don't know. That stupid video was domestic abuse. Should have been put to family court, not federal. They only have the dumb video to deny bail. Yeah, that video was a smoking gun. That video was a smoking gun. But at the end of the day, At the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, obviously, it was wrong, but it was domestic dispute, and all the sex thing they was going on. Yeah, it was prostitution, right? It was prostitution, but you got places where prostitution is legal. That's the oldest profession, and in my opinion, you should be able to do what the fuck you want with your body. In my opinion, you paying for it. Let's just keep it. You paying for it anyway, right? Ain't we all paying for it anyway? You done, you won it, girl. You know, come on, man. Again, it's all kind of moral code violations and all of that. I feel like if you want to say, look, man, I want, all right, boom. Here's what it, like, you feel me? Let's keep it a buck about that. How's that a federal charge? But I don't know. A RICO can't be just one person being charged. Right. Exactly. The argument to deny bail is weak as fuck. It was like, that's the only thing you're using. Like, if I already been in there a year. If I'm gonna get my revenge, I'm gonna get my revenge. It don't matter if you just let me the fuck out. You don't think he could put a bag on anybody's head at any time, even from behind? Like, that was weak, man. But I'm not gonna be here too much longer, man. I'm not. Selena Dunn. What tapes are you talking about? What saved Diddy is those tapes he has. That's why he had a small minimum sentence. He most likely told his family to make copies and keep them and release them. I don't know. I don't know. But the tape, they couldn't have been that bad. Larry Love, and I agree with you. The whole play might have been to jam him up and pressure him into taking a plea deal, and it didn't work. I could agree with that. I could definitely agree with that. But I got some work to do, so I would love to stay in here with y'all. I got some other things I got to get done, here. So I appreciate y'all rocking out for almost an hour. I'll go a couple more minutes. Keeping up with Lou. Think about the 5-year statute. Cassie's case was back then. Okay, so that leaves Jane within 5. I'm not getting what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Yeah, the judge is a clown for that, bro. I hope he sues the federal government for damages. I don't know if he could do that. I don't think he can sue the federal government. His lawyers will appeal that point. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Now, can he appeal? Maybe this is law student. She's still here. Could he appeal the prostitution joint, or will you just leave it? Like, he's been convicted of that. Would he try to go appeal that, or you just leave it? He can't sue. Okay, I figured that. So do you see? Can he appeal the prostitution joint? I'm sure he can. Okay. Oh, he can appeal. I definitely can appeal the bail. Okay. I mean, like, come on, like, judge, like, you on some bullshit. It's like, all right, you seen it your team, because you got to understand that you think you could say the judge is impartial, but best believe, from my experience, and I haven't saw a lot of federal cases, I saw a couple of them. It seems like the judge is definitely on the side of the prosecution to me, especially in certain types of cases. He's facing 20. He won. He ain't facing 20. He ain't getting no 20, bro. The judge is going to keep denying his bail. Yeah. He's going to get another bail hearing. He has no legs on those charges. Law student puts, either way, if anything, the trial made him feel more powerful, which will be his downfall. It will drive him to reoffend. I mean, that's your opinion or whatnot. He gotta be the dumbest guy in the world to keep doing. You know what I mean? If you beat this, but It happened. Marco Polo, the powers that Bree brought these charges up after he tried to sue the liquor company. Facts. I agree with that. I agree. The judge has not taken it because he's been fair. I ain't talking about this case. I'm talking about other cases I've seen. The judge has a lot of power. A lot of power. He can sway a case for real, when you really think about it. But that's why you always, building up a record for appeal, because if the judge on fugazi shit, you go over his fucking head to another judge. That's why you always get what you got to say on the record, even if the judge rejects it or whatever they call it, denies it, sustains, overrules, whatever they call it. You put that on the record. So if you find any bias or anything like that, then you can appeal it, to a higher court. Yeah. He has my opinion, but he beat so many other cases before and consistently continuing his deviant behavior. Yeah, man. Some people just got issues, and I'm sure he has issues, so that maybe that might be the case. Larry Love, he put at law student. You believe the judge will keep denying his bail on what ground? He's not a flight risk danger to society, maybe, but an ankle monitor on provisions, I doubt it. Nah, this trial scared Puff straight. The government could have took his wealth if that Rico came back guilty. Yeah, I just don't see. I seen him getting married, going to the church or something. I don't know. We'll see. But I appreciate y'all listening in, man. I know y'all want to go back and forth. I'll let y'all go back and forth for a couple more minutes. You know what I mean? You having a time in the comment section. Same way when Bill Cosby went his body Channel 4. Yeah. I get it. I mean, that's actually a fact, though, Marco. As far as with Bill Cosby. I do have a few more questions. All right, go ahead and spit them out. Go ahead and spit them out real quick. Spit them out, and then I'm going to get up out of here. Because I already went way too more longer than I wanted to go. Puffy still has assets. Rico was the only thing scaring him. He got a lot of assets. A lot. Boosie flip-flops on Diddy. But but Boosie, when they let Cassie off, they let him go. The judge is not going off that video. There was so much evidence presented in the trial. He kept seeing Cassie. I mean, that was one of the things he went off of. That was definitely one of the things. And then he I just read it. He referenced another time in another incident. But it was he definitely did go off the Cassie situation as far as why he denied his bail, if that's what you're saying. Yeah. Said the judge cited multiple incidents that demonstrate he possesses a continued danger to the community. The court referenced the widely circulated video showing Diddy assaulting Cassie or Ventura, and highlighted a separate violent altercation at the London hotel. Yeah. So I mean, that is what it is. That is what it is. Where's the one I had a question? Marco, he said, how do you feel it's a win? Diddy wanted a full acquittal, any prison time as a loss? Not at all. I mean, I don't see it that way. I don't think his family sees it that way. You know. I seen that Funk Flex. I seen that. I don't like how Cassie did that, bro. I don't like that, bro. You have to ask law student that one. I don't know. Ravens fan, ask law student that. I'll put it on the screen. Sheesh. Man, if y'all don't see this, a play to get rid of him, pay attention. Oh, I'm sure they're gonna go that pill quick as a mug. Well, probably already got that shit done. Ready. All right, y'all. I'm out of here, man. I appreciate y'all listening in. That stupid 50 BM is the one who hits his head in the kitchen. Oh, y'all crazy. 216 D Nice in the building. I appreciate y'all, man. I got other stuff to do. I would love to stick around. It's your brother O got Hip Hop News Uncensored. Thank you guys. We'll have more on the Diddy, situation as there's more to come. This is it though. Like as far as like, ain't much more to say about it until he gets sentenced. I mean, it's more, but like the outlandish stories, the people, making up this and talking about this, and I wonder how that landscape is going to look now. Man, after the next week or so. Wow. When you're looking at 20 to life and now 5 to 10, that's a win. I 100% agree. Anybody, I ain't gonna say anybody, but anybody who's been in that situation, I have to say, is going to tell you that. Like that's like if you go into court, you like, let's say you got a body, right? And they're saying, "Look, man, you looking at life, bro." I mean, it's like like you looking at life. Like nobody ever got like less than 30 years for this, and he come back with a 5-year sentence. You happy? I mean, you still got to sit in prison for a little bit, but you like that. I mean, I already been in this joint for a year. I'm out of here soon. You got your date. Think about it. You got a date. You get a date. February 22nd, 2028. Instead of your date could be, November, February, nigga, 2000 and 95 or something like that. What year are we in? Like, think about it. 2095 is your release date. Like, and you now your release date is 2028. Oh, you happy? All right, I'm a holler, man. It's your boy, Oh God. I'm out of here. Peace.